Bonjour! Welcome to Unit 4, our new unit. We just finished Unit 3, moving right along. This unit is kind of all about stuff you can do. So, activities, things you can go see, daily life, etc., movies, media, and so on. So, like I said in, I guess, the test prep video, in some video I recorded recently, I told you all that we are going to be moving very quickly through Unit 4, and that is correct. So, let's get started. We're going to be finishing our first lesson, Lesson 13, which I forgot to give a title slide for. Lesson 13 in like a day. We're going to go pretty quick. So, les spectacles. Les spectacles just means spectacles. It means what it looks like. Alright, so, tu sors souvent. This is just going to be an example of a conversation that you might hear. Tu sors souvent. Do you go out often? Oui, je sors assez souvent. Yes, I go out rather often. Je vais au concert. I go or am going to the concert. Une fois par semaine. Okay, so here are our new words. This is where you need to start writing things down. So une fois means one time. One time. Par semaine means per week. Deux fois, two times. Par mois, per month. You know both of these words. You know all of this so far. Trois fois par an. 3 times per year. And you can mix and match. You can go to a concert 1 time per year, whatever. The really important thing in this section is the word fois, which means time or times. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Right? And then per week, per month, per year. The word par is new to you probably, but you know semaine, mois, and an. Okay. That's it. That's mostly it for that slide. So, only big thing to take away is une fois, deux fois, trois fois, and then par, and then a length of time, semaine, mois, un. Okay? So, I had intended for this to come in bit by bit, but we're just going to look at it like this, so don't get overwhelmed. The sort of new or important words are in bold. So, more spectacle. On va, one goes, au cinéma, to the cinema, pour, in order to, voir un film, see a film, voir un acteur, or une actrice, to see an actor or an actress. Okay, so far you know all of these. You know un film, you know un acteur, and you know une actrice. Okay, but one can also go, on va au théâtre, to the theater, pour, in order to, voir une pièce de théâtre. Une pièce de théâtre. This means a play. This is probably a new word for you. A play, une pièce de théâtre. Or sometimes just une pièce. Or, on va au théâtre pour voir une comédie musicale. Une comédie musicale. This just means a musical. It doesn't necessarily mean a comedy. It doesn't have to be a funny musical. It just means a musical. Okay? On va au concert. One goes to the concert pour entendre un orchestre. Un orchestre. So, to listen to an orchestra. Or, pour entendre un groupe. Pour entendre un groupe. To listen to a band. Un groupe is a band. Pour entendre un chanteur. Or une chanteuse. To listen to a singer. Or, pour entendre un chanson. Un chanson. A song. To listen to a song. You go to a concert to listen to one song. That's it. It's the whole reason I came. Un chanson. A song. Okay? On va au musée. On va au musée. One goes to a museum. pour voir en exposition. Voir en exposition, which means exhibition or exhibit. Right? You go to a museum, you see an exhibit. Exposition. And finalement, on va au stade, one goes to the stadium pour assister à un match. Assister à un match, to attend a match. Voir une équipe, to see a team. Une équipe means a team. Or pour voir un joueur or une joueuse, to see a player. Joueur, joueuse, player. Okay, moving on. So, some things, so this is basically a slide with some verbs that are important. So, quand on va à un concert, when one goes to a concert, on laisse la voiture au parking. On laisse la voiture au parking. On cherche des sodas. On cherche sa place. On trouve sa place. Après, on garde le programme. On n'oublie pas l'événement. Okay, so some verbs here, they're just highlighted or they're bolded. These are the big words that you need to know from this section, and they are laisser. Laisser means to leave. Laisser means to leave. You have probably seen this verb in the phrase laissez-faire or laissez-faire that you've probably talked about in history. If you are taking U.S. history, you've definitely talked about it. And in French, laissez-faire means to do, like to leave it alone, right? To let it do its own thing. Then chercher, on cherche des sodas. Chercher means to look for or to find. Nope, sorry, just to look for. To look for. So on cherche des sodas, look for some sodas, look for. Sa place means your seat. And then trouver, on trouve sa place. Trouver means to find. One finds their place, their seat. Garder, garder means to keep. Après, on garde le programme. After, you keep the program. And oublier, oublier means to forget. So, on n'oublie pas l'événement. You don't forget the event. Okay, just some relevant verbs to what we're talking about. Laisser, chercher, trouver, garder, oublier. C'est tout. Okay? Now, we were at a concert. Now we're at the movies. Au cinéma. So, a question you might ask. Quel film est-ce qu'on joue? Quel film est-ce qu'on joue? What film is playing? What movie's playing? Right? I don't know if I want to go to movies. I don't know what's playing. Tell me. You could also say, qu'est-ce qu'on joue? Qu'est-ce qu'on joue? What's playing? Okay, maybe you haven't heard of the film. Your friend tells you what movie it is. So you might ask, quelle sorte de film est-ce? Quelle sorte de film est-ce? What kind of movie is it? What kind? Sorte means kind. What sort? What kind? You could also say, quel genre de film est-ce? Quel genre de film est-ce? What genre of film is it? Okay, so you like the genre, you're ready to go. You might then ask, à quelle heure commence le film? À quelle heure commence le film? At what time does the movie start? Commence. The infinitive is commencer, which is just this with an R at the end. Commencer, it means to begin. Okay, you could also say, à quelle heure commence la séance? La séance. This means showing. It doesn't mean a seance like you're trying to contact the dead. It means showing. So, what time does a showing start? Okay, because there are multiple showings of movies throughout the day. And then the answer to that would be il or elle commence. So, il for le film, elle for la séance. commence à 8h30, whatever time, 8:30, whatever time it's going to start. That's how you would answer. Commence à. Okay? Then finally you might need to know how much money to bring. So you might ask, combien coûtent les billets? Combien coûtent les billets? So how much do the tickets cost? Les billets means tickets. Combien coûtent les billets? You could also say combien coûtent les places? Combien coûtent les places? How much do the seats cost? Means the same thing. And then the answer would be il or elle, il for billet, elle for place, coûte 7 euros, however much money. Alright, so that's at the cinema. But now, what if someone asks you, what genre of film is it? You need to know how to say this in French, right? So, quel genre de film est? What genre of film is it? Say, so that's how you would start off the sentence, say it is. And then, here's some genres of movies. Un film d'aventure. Un film d'aventure is an action movie. An action movie. Like John Wick or Die Hard. C'est un film policier. Un film policier. It's like a cop movie, like a detective movie. So, I don't know any movie with cops in it. Rush Hour. And movie references are pretty dated, huh? Need to update those. Un film d'horreur. Un film d'horreur, a horror movie. Right? Like, let's see what relevant horror movie I can name. The Exorcist. Sure. Un film de science-fiction. Un film de science-fiction. Science fiction film, movie. Like Planet of the Apes. There's a newer version of that. It's also a very old version. C'est un drame psychologique. Un drame psychologique. A psychological drama. Right, so something like Inception, I think would fit there. And un dessin animé. Un dessin animé. Which means an animated movie. It doesn't mean anime. It means an animated movie, like a cartoon. Right, like Disney or Pixar or something. It could also mean anime. That's where the word anime comes from the French word for animated. But this just means an animated movie, cartoon. Usually they're for children. Okay? Et c'est tout. That's it. That's it for this first part. Let's take a look at your practice for this. So it's a lot of vocab, right? Remember the first lesson in every unit is vocab. So it's just practicing using all this new vocab. You will want to use your notes for this practice. You're going to need to and have to. So the first section, au cinéma ce soir, at the cinema this evening, the movies this evening. Look at the illustration and respond to the following questions with complete sentences. Okay? So you are going to have to look at this illustration. You can see there's the name of the movie theater, the prices for tickets, hours of the movies. Everything you need to answer these questions is in this image. So the tricky thing here is going to be responding in complete sentences. So this first one, qu'est-ce qu'on joue au cinéma Palace ce soir? Okay, Cinéma Palace is the name of the movie theater. So what is playing? Qu'est-ce qu'on joue au cinéma ce soir? Okay? So we just have to look and figure out what's playing. Looks like Zorro et les pirates. Zorro and the pirates. Okay? So you would just answer this by saying Zorro et les pirates jouent ce soir. That would be how you would answer that sentence in a complete, answer that question in a complete sentence. And we italicize. Name some movies. sometimes. French people usually put them in quotation marks, actually. And then same thing, you're just answering the questions, looking in this to get the answer. Then, this section is going to be a little difficult. You are going to need to look at the vocab I just gave you in order to fill in the words so these sentences make sense. So the first one, for instance, le mois dernier, je suis allé 3 blank au cinéma. Last month, I went 3 blank to the cinema, to the movies. Okay? So what word could we put in here from our notes that would make sense? Je suis allé, I went 3 times, right? I went 3 times to the movies, so it would be 3 fois. Okay? Make sure you're typing your answers in a different color so I can find them. Now, a little treat for those of you who actually watch these videos. I am not going to give you a quiz over lesson 13. I am going to grade this worksheet and the next worksheet. And that is going to be sort of your quiz grade for this section. You're not going to have to do a quiz over it. Congrats to you all who now know this. And that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. We've got one more video about vocab in this unit before we're done and we're going to move on. And that's it. Au revoir.